a better. They have told me he sleeps in Parliament. As long as he wakes up to raise his hands in favor of NRM, bring in a better. I am not in a new debate. This debate is old. I am one of those who think people must choose their best to go and represent them in Parliament. Museveni says...
I think you're pretty condescending when
Museveni
the other day you said, Bakapere, you described the new lot, the new crop as Bakapere.
Yes,
I think that's a bit disrespectful and harsh.
I am not disrespecting. You see, knowledge and talent is a resource. In other countries, they go around their countries hunting and looking for talent. Even when they are sending people to study, they choose their best for scholarships, for them to return and benefit their own country. That's how the Abumayanjas were selected by the colonial administration to go and study at Cambridge. They were the best at that time. Because I have been battling with Museveni, who says bring anyone as long as he sleeps but wakes up to vote NRM. I cannot be involved with my colleagues in opposition that they also think as long as people are loyal to their parties where they are valued to Parliament or not, bring them. These books that I have carried, each of these books is 4,000 pages. This is one set of books that we have to read when we are preparing a budget. There are 4 functions of a member of Parliament. One of the functions is appropriation, scrutinizing the national budget, because Museveni and his government collect taxes from every Ugandan. Those Ugandans from whom taxes are collected have sent you to Parliament to make sure that their money is deployed to their social needs. So the work of an MP is to go through this. And this is just one set.
Yeah, but the Constitution stipulates that if one has an S6 or an equivalent, he's eligible to become an MP.
For me, it doesn't even matter, even if it was in senior 6. You mean people have no capacity to choose their best, even if they are of the same level. You've worked in newsrooms, you've worked in other organizations. Even when you are at the same level, there are people who will be better than the others. And you don't need a microscope to scrutinize and identify them. Yeah, I have told you every financial year starting December to May, for 6 months, we're only doing one thing, budgeting. You've got to read this. These are 4,000 pages. This is one volume. This is volume 2, 4,000 pages. This is volume 3, 4,000 pages.
Do you read them?
And I do. You should go and ask people at home. It's like I am back in school.
So why are you quick to judge?
I spend 2 months reading and understanding. That's why when you are presenting a budget and I am not in this parliament, that parliament will miss me. Because I dedicate my time, read, ask. We have people who can help you to understand better. And this is just one set. This is one set. You have several other sets that you have to read and several other documents. The country must understand that to be an MP is very difficult work. You need to choose your best to go and represent you. This is not a ceremony. But you wake up every day and you end up in the parliament.
What's your issue here and why now? Because I mean, you've lived with your colleagues for a while.
I am saying not now. I was in Jinja and I told the people of Jinja, please elect Mweru. I also told them, don't bother him with attending funerals. Don't bother him with presiding over nursery, pre-primary children graduating. That work you can ask councillors to do it. Leave MPs to concentrate. These things, each time of budget, I spend more than 2 months reading.
Yeah, but it's always a learning curve. You can imagine. You must have entered parliament when you were an underdog yourself.
No. I have never. I covered parliament as a journalist for 10 years. In fact, I knew more about parliament than MPs during those 10 years. So I went to do work that for which I already had knowledge. And I'm not saying everybody is going to be as gifted or as like I was, because I had covered parliament. That benefit I had. There are people you can train. There are also others that you cannot train. The most important thing, and I have told people, I was in Chiganda, Kasokoso yesterday, I was in Insasa, And I am happy my people appreciate and they see that there is work to do in the parliament. I only want, because this work should be done by the Human Rights Commission, to tell people that there is work. Because you see, President Museveni has been a very bad man. He has technical people who do his things properly. He offloads these things to MPs who don't read, who don't understand. I have told you in the last budget, I told the parliament that Museveni has put in these documents money to pay Congo, 235 billion. He has put in this, hidden in these documents, 532 billion to give to Magola. He has put in this budget money to pay Mobaji. He has put in these documents money to pay Rocco. If you don't read them and you wait just to raise your hands, you are selling your own country. This country is highly indebted. You go here and they tell you public debt is now at 116 trillion shilling. And for you, if you are an average MP, you think actually that we have a debt to clear. Yet Museveni puts here money, hidden, you need to read, you need to consult, you need to dedicate your time. So all of you guys who want to come to Parliament, Parliament is not a burial site. It's not a concert. Come knowing that there is work to do for which you must dedicate yourself.
Well, I want to bring in Honorable Dombo. Honorable, I would describe you as a senior legislator in this case. How would you weigh in on the raging debate over elitism and populism? It's more of a class war debate.
Thank you very much, Bwana Nganda and Bwana Simon for elaborating on the issues that you raise. By the way, this is not a new debate. It has been a debate that has been recurring since time immemorial. This is a demonstration of poverty. Poverty of money, poverty of ideas, and whoever comes up uses his opportunity to exploit those that are gullible in order to have their way out. I've been to Parliament, and I want to tell you that Honorable Semujunganda is one of the very articulate members of Parliament. I admire him. And he's one of the people, if he chooses to debate, if you're a caring person, you should learn. Although he also uses it to ridicule, especially if he knows that there are those who have either not read or read and they haven't understood. And for me, this to be happening in the Parliament of Uganda is not surprising. Because recently I had some members of Parliament moving around Uganda saying Impuga Yalia. All they can say is Impuga Yalia. But when Honorable Mpuga came up to explain, actually the very members of Parliament had passed what Impuga had eaten without them realizing that they had done so. Now who was the fool? Was it the members of Parliament who approved it without reading, or was it Impuga who accepted to take what belongs to him because of Mugabite Yesera? Basically, that's what happened. But if you go back to the history of this country, we have been told in the history when Professor Senteza Kajubi contested with a bar seller around the areas of Wandegea, and he was beaten by a pan who sells the tonto. And they refused the Professor Senteza Kajubi. And the people who were backing the bar seller were not bar sellers, they were highly landed people who wanted to exclude the Senteza Kajubi because of his views that he held at that moment. But like I've told you, that without people acknowledging, whatever we are going through is a reflection of the poverty we go through as a country. And for us, one day when we were in Chankwanzi, President Museveni asked us a question. The same question I had Honorable Nganda repeat on BBS, on CBS, I think. President Museveni said, when you want to repair your car, to whom do you give it? If you have a dental problem, don't you look for the best dentist? If you are looking for a salon to work on your face, don't you look for the best salon? And he asks us the same question, that how come that when it comes to the leadership, people will move around and do whatever they need?
Yeah, but again, Honorable
And to show
Dombo,
that this is basically an exploitation of the gullible,
Honorable
the same
Dombo,
question,
Honorable Dombo,
the same question, just a moment, just a moment. The same question was put to Honorable Semujunganda when he was one of the media houses, and he was asked that for President of Uganda, if you think being a member of parliament is so complicated that it requires somebody who is also sophisticated in mind and approach, he was asked that if you think musicians should do music and do the things that they do best, whom do you think is best suited to lead Uganda? I saw my brother, Honorable Semujunganda, trying to get off and divert the discussion and pleading as if he hadn't gone to discuss President Museveni. So you cannot eat your cake and have it. Well, what Honorable Semujunganda is saying is right. We need better qualified people to run the affairs of the nation, just as we need better qualified people to run the affairs of parliament.
Yeah, but your boss himself has gone around telling people that you can choose an MP who sleeps during sessions for as long as he wakes up to vote on matters NRM. Can't we shift?
The president.
Can't we then say it is President
Museveni said this when Honorable Nabeta was a candidate. But according to you, when you look at Honorable Nabeta, is he a sleeping MP? Because you must also contextualize the message that has been given to you. Were they telling a person like Walukaga to be voted? Look at the members of parliament who have come up on NRM card. This is a vice, by the way, which has eaten very selective and specific poverty to exploit the ignorance of the population